We're good.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks everybody for getting on. Hopefully Trey will be able to hop on at some point. But what we had talked about doing tonight was going over for anybody that maybe didn't see any of the summit workshops. This one in particular that I really enjoyed was the Developing Diamond workshop. So I just took notes and key points that they went over in the call or in the workshop, and maybe help each other help. I'm working on it. Can you hear me? Is it better? Is it breaking up a lot still? Okay, hopefully you can hear me. If at any point I'm breaking up to the point where you can't hear me, just like do this at me so that I know to stop talking. It's doing it. I had this problem last time and I had to call in on the phone. I might have to call into it. Do you have the number, Amanda? Otherwise,
I will send it to you right now.
okay.
Here. There. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute myself and call in. If you
I think you're frozen. I think Pam is frozen too. Oh, there you go.
can you hear me now?
Am I still breaking?
Yes, but you're echoing.
Sorry, I had to turn my speaker off.
There you go.
I had my speakers on. Is that better?
Let me
okay, good.
This one. There. Try again.
Good?
Yes.
Am I okay now?
Yes.
Okay, phew. So this happened last time too, and I couldn't get on with sound, so that sucks. Sorry about that, guys.
No problem.
I will try to make this quick just in case my sound screws up or I get kicked off or something stupid happens again. So anyways, the Developing Diamonds workshop. They went over in the workshop 3 key points that they talked about. Everybody that wanted to develop diamonds and develop their business and develop their team, they hit 3 points for everybody to kind of follow along with during the workshop. The first was modeling, the second was mentoring, and the third was mastering. Again, like I said, a lot of this are things I'm trying to improve on too, but I thought maybe if we kind of all bounced ideas off of one another that we could all get better at it, because I certainly have a long way to go too. So for modeling was the first key point that they went over with everybody, and modeling is basically, how to become a leader and how to, lead your team to be successful. One of the things that I wrote down was lead, go, and show the way, which they talked about making sure that we are hitting some key points in our own businesses to set examples for our teams, and letting them know, keeping informed on what points we're hitting. That includes the 3 vital behaviors, hitting Success Club, and making sure that we're participating on team calls, wake-up calls, and going to live events also. All of these things, I'm sure, is our review, because I feel like we go over them all the time, but sometimes it's not so easy to do. So I've been trying, I know, with my own personally sponsored coach team, I've been trying to post my BAT every day and do my business activity tracker every day and post it on my personally sponsored coach page. I don't know if it's doing anything or if it's just helping me stay accountable to my team, but I'm trying to make sure that I'm hopping on as many calls as I can and making sure that I'm going on to our online back office and looking at breaking news and things that are going on. They do a recap, like a cute little video recap every week of all the things that are going on that was really helpful for me last week. I was able to kind of hit key points on my personally sponsored coach page so that people knew what was going on that week in particular. That's kind of a thought that they mentioned also. Make sure that when we're setting our goals, if we have a goal on our business activity tracker, to share them with our teams. And just, sometimes we're going to do awesome at it and we're going to destroy a day and, get 3 new coaches and get new challengers. And some days we're not going to do anything. But if we're kind of going over it together and sharing what's going on together, hopefully we'll kind of work with each other and get stuff done. The second thing that they talked about was mentoring. And one of the things that I wrote down was vision equals direction equals results, which again is a lot of things. If you saw the call, you're going to recognize 99.9% of this that I talked about. One of the biggest things that they talked about was our why, which I know we talk about almost on every call, it feels like. Not only knowing our own whys, but knowing what your team's whys are. And making it personal, whether it's family, whether it's finances, whether it's freedom, making sure that we have a clear idea of our why and a clear idea of what our coaches' whys are, making sure that we're touching base with them and figuring out, what it is. Maybe they don't have it completely figured out yet. I kind of went back and forth on a couple of things when I started and my whys and what I want to do, and I feel like I have more than one, but making sure that we have a clear why, because a lot of people hop on and they talked about their whys being, helping people. I want to do this business because I really want to help people. I really want to help people grow and help people achieve their goals, which is great, but it's also what we do as coaches on a daily basis. And they said to try to steer people away from that being your why, not that it's not a great reason, but because it's what we do on a daily basis. But why is it specifically for you that you want to be a coach? What's your why? Is it, retiring your husband or wife? Is it, spending more time with your family? Whatever it may be. But making sure that we, kind of really take some time and think about it and know what it is that your coach's why is. Also, which kind of goes hand in hand with knowing your coaches, is knowing, who your sponsors, who you sponsor. Understanding your coach's individual needs and their desires with what they want as far as their team goes. If they are looking to be a discount coach, just know that, you have something written down, maybe like have notes on, your personally sponsored coaches and things that you've talked about with them to say, I know right from the get-go. And I know that I have a handful of discount coaches, and I know that I probably won't get a ton out of them off of the discount coaches, but making sure I'm staying in connection with them and, they're doing work and things like that. So what else? We talked about, sorry, reading notes, implementing personal interaction with Facebook and text messaging and team phone calls. I just got kicked off. Not sure if you guys can hear me, but hopefully you can. And structuring personal interaction with the team. Oh, I'm echoing. Hang on one second. Okay, thanks.
Hang on one second.
Okay. And one of the things that I kind of, sorry guys, that I wrote down that was something that they kind of didn't put anywhere, but was to not necessarily, one of the things that we do, or that I definitely have done, is I have probably 3 or 4 coaches who are definitely discount coaches. They signed up to be discount coaches, and they talked about in this Developing Diamonds workshop that sometimes when we get people that say they're going to sign up as a discount coach, we kind of put them into their own little category. And it says that, you know, we kind of defeat our coaches by putting them into this discount coach category, if you will, and to try not to do that. Make sure that we're still communicating with them and, you know, encouraging them along the way, because even though they start off as a discount coach, you never know, getting into programs and them sharing their stories with other people, how it's going to come across and develop their business. So making sure that we're also following up with our discount coaches too and staying in contact with them. Something else that they mentioned, which was, I know that we've heard before from personal development, is 20% of your team will produce 80% of your results. So knowing how to balance, how to find your 20%, those are going to be the people that are interested in learning the business for themselves, that you kind of follow up with and follow that those people are doing the 3 vital behaviors. They're active and they're coachable. If you talk to these people and give them any kind of suggestions or try to help along the way, and they kind of go the opposite direction, just to kind of keep an eye on who's going to be your 20%, who's going to be your 20% that's going to kind of get you that 80% of your business, that's going to get you those results, and making sure that, not that you only work with the 20%, but know who those people are and know who, who's taking the time to do the business, so that you should take a time as the leader to kind of connect with them and, help them and push them along as best we can too. What else? I think a lot of that is what covers the mentoring. The last thing that they mentioned was mastering, and just key points that I'm going to hit really quick because I feel like I've been talking forever, are things that are important: creating team culture, a team vision, a team page. Don't be afraid if you have new coaches, and they talked about if you have new coaches who know right away that they want to be a leader. If you have somebody that wants to set up, to let them start their own personally sponsored coach page, let them kind of go, and don't be afraid to let your coaches be leaders. Have them start their own team pages and their own personally sponsored coach group. Encourage our coaches to sign up for team cups, team calls, meetings, and the people that they signed up as coaches, those people that are their own personally sponsored coaches, signed up with them for a reason. They follow them. They're not following, like Katie, for example. Katie's personally sponsored coaches that she signed didn't sign up for me. They have nothing to do with me. So putting them in my group is great, but encouraging someone to kind of go out and say, you're following me, you joined me for a reason, hop on my personally sponsored coaches page, to encourage our coaches to kind of do the same thing. And kind of let them go. If they feel like they're going to be a leader and they want to lead, that we should definitely be encouraging that as best we can. I think, I think most of this is going to be all kind of review. I'm going to hit, because I would rather kind of like bounce ideas off each other than, I guess, keep talking, because I feel like the sound of my own voice is making me crazy right now. But a couple of things about structuring our business on Facebook. I would love to kind of see how everybody structures as far as their team page, and if you guys do diamond groups, and how often we're running training groups and things like that. I think a lot of that is it. And our success partners and recognition posts. This is kind of terrible. I just kind of wanted to bounce ideas off of each other, because I had a whole checklist of things that I had written down that I was kind of interested in hearing more from people that have ideas on things that are working for them or maybe not working for them, because I kind of get stuck in doing the same thing and was kind of just interested in that. Does anybody have any kind of input on what, if any of these have been implemented, or if anybody's having success with any of these different things, or, you know, I guess questions on any of them?
Do you want me to unmute everybody?
I guess. I mean, I don't really know. I guess I don't really.
If we get crazy feedback, I can mute everybody again, and then whoever wants to talk can unmute themselves if we have like a lot of feedback issues. So I'll unmute everybody. A little feedbacky, but I think it's okay.
So, like, I know, for example, Katie has been my active. I'm gonna forget myself. Hang on one second. Okay, can you hear me? I'm not feedback anymore, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Like, Katie has been probably, of my personally sponsored coaches, Katie has definitely been my go-to coach for like the person on my team who has taken her business and kind of started running with it. So I guess just to kind of share with each other, because, you know, talking about it and me just kind of going over these points is fine, but I thought if we could all get benefit out of it, maybe we could kind of share what we're doing on our own, to see if anybody's, you know, got stuff that's working. I know Katie, like I said, has been my person. Do you have anything that's like working for you right now, Katie, that you wanted to kind of share?
The accountability for, hold on, I've got the baby, so so I had to leave the Call of Duty, sorry. The accountability that I was worried about becoming a coach because I did not want to lose track of myself and my goals, and worry about my business aspect part of it. So I think coaching kind of a little bit about accountability, and then me and Jackie seriously bounce off of each other for ideas as far as the business, which really, really helps. You know, one week I'll use my bat like faithfully, and then 1 week Jackie will, and then she, you know, kind of keeps me going on that. Not one specific thing is working for me right now. I've come to realize that it's just time to not let things come to me, but back off the business aspect a little bit, like we're not salesmen part, because that's what I was trying to do, and be there for people and be the go-to person. So that seems to be working for me right now. So I do post a lot during the day on Facebook, Instagram. I'm now on LinkedIn, Twitter. I post on all of those at least 3 to 6 times a day. I think most of you are Facebook friends with me, and that seems to be helping. But I don't post, piles on sale or, Body Beast is only, 180 this month, or I don't do that anymore, and it seems to be working a little bit more because people were, I'm assuming this, people were kind of just scrolling through my part of the news feed because they were kind of sick of it. So now I'm posting a little bit more personal, and that seems to be helping. So having accountability for your own goals and having accountability for your business is huge, and that's what works for me. And having the same partner for both probably wouldn't work for me. So, because you have to find who connects on what level. So for me, thank God Amanda and I connect on the same level as far as our goals right now. And me and Jackie, as far as the business part, we connect on that level. So you just have to find that somebody who's got very similar goals to you, and bounce constantly all day long if you need to. So that's what works.
Does everybody that's on the call have personally sponsored coaches underneath them? Because I know that obviously at one point when I was doing these calls, I didn't have anybody. I had nobody underneath me. Does everybody that is on the call have a coach underneath them, at least one coach?
I think I have 8, but it's hard getting them motivated. Some of them are at the discount, like you talked about, and I have grouped them as a discount, so I don't push them. Other ones I am pushing really hard, and I'm trying not to let them lose the motivation by just keeping in touch with them, because I know they're frustrated that nobody signed up, but they're brand new, and it took me at least a month or 2 to get one. So I'm just hoping that they just stick to it.
Well, I know one of the things that I wrote down too is I key pointed the one-on-one interactions with people, and one of the things that I kind of noticed is that I need to improve on is that I wrote down most people will stay because of relationships, even if they're not 100% in the business and don't want to be a superstar diamond elite coach. That a lot of people will stay in the group and be active in the group because it's a family, because we're supporting each other, because everybody's welcome, whether you're a discount coach or whether you're somebody who's, trying to become the elite coach. That if we're creating an environment for people where everybody's welcome, and, we're posting the welcome photos. And HIIT Nation is ridiculously awesome with, introducing our coaches and hopping on and checking everybody's and saying, whether it's somebody or not, hopping on and saying, welcome, part of the family, and making people feel that way, is that a lot of people will stick around because it's a sense of belonging and because it's a sense of, of family with one another. And, just that's something that I need to work on personally. I don't know how everybody is with staying in contact. And I know, Amanda, you must have I feel like you probably have way more coaches than I do, but staying in contact. Do you stay in contact with, how do you communicate with your team? Do you communicate with everybody? Do you?
I try to. I have a lot of discount coaches because I had 17 personally sponsored coaches before I hit Diamond, because I signed up anyone who wanted to drink Shakeology. I signed them up as a coach. So I have all of these people now who are inactive, or they're, they randomly get Shakeology. I have one person who's a coach. She buys 4 bags every 3 months. I don't get it. I don't know. And I try to talk to them, but some people, you can only reach out so much. So I try to touch base with people who I know are either not interested in doing the business, or they just want to get their shake for free, or they signed up as a coach and they're I have some people who are I signed up and I thought I was ready, but I'm not yet. Maybe in September I'll be ready. So I just try to touch base with those type of people once a month, so I'm not overwhelming them with stuff. But obviously the people I have a board. I have to look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have 6 people right now who are like actively building. 4 of them are on my account and 2 are on Matt's account. And I am in contact with them, some daily, some couple times a week, some weekly. It depends on what their goals are. Like it goes back to that personalization. Like I have some people who are like, I am ready to go. I'm ready to go. Like Betsy and I had that conversation this morning. She was actually my first coach that I signed. And she's ready to go now. So I talk to her almost every day. But you know, it just depends on where people's goals are, you know, especially like Kaylee and Jess, you guys are both pretty new. I don't want to bombard you every single day. What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. You'll be like, oh my God, this crazy Beachbody stuff. Leave me alone.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
So it just depends on where people are. I talk to Trey almost every day. I know he's not my personal coach, but you know, we kind of bounce ideas off of each other. So it depends on the person and what their goals are.
Jackie, you touched on a really good point, and I hope people listen to the recording later. You mentioned that this is more like a family and like you're welcome here. That's a big thing for me, and that is one reason I think I pushed so hard and I'm still here. Not only do I believe in the product, but when I moved back to Syracuse, for most of you don't know, I was down south for a while. So I moved back to Syracuse, and I have a Italian family who likes to eat whatever's in sight. Exercise is a very rare occurrence in my family, if anything. So I don't have a lot in common with my family. So this is truly a second family away from my real family, my blood. And I think that actually probably has a lot to do with a lot of the coaches that are part of our groups. So I really do hope they listen to the recording, because that does mean a lot to a lot of people. I'm glad you touched base on that. Thank you.
I agree. I think too, I know when I started coaching, it was still new. I think I was, if you know, for all of you who know Erin, who's my sponsor coach, I think I was the coach that made her hit diamond. So that's how long, and she's 7-star elite now. So that's how long ago things were. And I remember thinking, there's only like a couple of us, and we're doing this, and I don't know how many people are going to come along with us, but it just seemed really cool. And I saw the cultures of other teams who were well established, and it almost could, I've been very emotional today, and it almost could make me cry, because I feel like all of the, like, you guys are all in my life, and you're all in each other's lives, and it's all like we've all kind of huddled around this like awesome campfire, and there's so many of us, and we all, like, you know, when I go up for Super Saturdays, every time I go, I'm like, well, here's some new people that I've never met before, but you're like my family now. And I love that everybody feels that way in our team. And I feel like that's huge, because if, you know, especially if you don't, a lot of people do have close families. But if you don't have a lot of support with whichever side, we're just like a huge family, and I feel like we treat each other that way too, which is awesome. And it doesn't matter where you're from, where you started, where you are in your journey, what you're doing with your business. Like, we're just all family, and I love that. And I'm glad that you touched on that too, Jackie, because it's awesome.
Well, thanks.
You're welcome.
Well, I don't really have anything else. I know the coach call is kind of like coming to an end, and they just alerted me that our call is going to be done in a couple of minutes. But yeah, that was one of the, I probably took 3 pages, and I try to just touch on things, because I hate to talk for long periods of time, because it just makes me nervous. But if anybody has a chance to check out the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's like this cool little pyramid thing that you know, talks about the reasons why people, you know, join groups and do teams, and knowing, you know, who we sponsor. And those are 3 of the big things that I know that I took. Like, I never played sports. I was not an athlete as a kid. I never played sports. I was never on a team. I was a dancer and took dance class and, you know, kind of had my little dance family there. But most of the people that I grew up with didn't go to school. Like, when I was in dance class, didn't go to school with me. They were in a different school district. And so when I was at school, I had my friends, but, you know, not really a part of anything tight there. And I know that that was one of the biggest things that for HIIT Nation in particular is, you know, I think that our team does a great job with, you know, making people feel like they belong and making people feel like they're loved and helping each other, you know, build your self-esteem. A lot of us are on a journey together, and a lot of us are going through, you know, whatever our fitness journey is or our personal journeys is. I mean, I feel like we don't always necessarily share just our fitness journeys on the page, that we've kind of gotten to know each other, you know, on a different level, and that's pretty awesome. And if we can kind of develop our teams that way, in that direction, I think that it, you know, it says a lot about, you know, what we're doing as a group and, you know, as coaches, personally too.
Agreed.
So that's really it. I don't know if everybody has like questions or anything. I know I kind of just rambled for a long time, but if anybody has anything they want to say, then please do.
I had one other thing, because the topic of this call was developing diamonds. Another call that I listened to, it was on the Platinum Presenters page. It was by Christina Sullins. It was recent. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it was something to do about developing diamonds. And even if you're not in a place where you're growing diamonds on your team, but to get yourself there, she had so many awesome points. It's like a 35-minute call, I think. And I took like 6 pages of notes. And she had so many awesome points. And I think she has like 45 personally sponsored coaches on her team. She's been a coach for like 5 years. So if you want to even delve deeper into getting yourself to diamond or helping your coaches get to diamond, that was a good call also, with a lot of good information. If you have lots of time to listen, plug it in your car. So
you said that's Christina Cohen's call?
Sullins. I'll type you the name
for me because I can't hear. Thanks.
Let me chat monkey everybody. It's Christine. I can't see. There. I sent it to
Sullins, got it.
Christina Sullins.
Sorry.
That was a good call. That's on the Platinum Presenters site. So just another info tidbit.
Well, thank you. And thank you guys for getting on. I know not everybody's normal and we kind of stick around with Trey. And thank you very much for getting on and listening to me ramble for a minute. And I hope you guys have an awesome week. And hopefully I will have the day off on Tuesday next week so I can get on the call next week.
Yay! I'll post the recording as soon as I do it.
Okay, sounds good.
It has to load. I don't know. Trey's more tech savvy than me. All right. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.